Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive fan myself. Like, watched the original Star Wars every day as a kid. When I was 30, I went to Tunisia and stayed in Luke Skywalker's house and visited the sets and things. And I think the thing that first happens when you start Star Wars as a filmmaker is you want to grab everything and put it in your movie. And the producers are initially like, oh, like, okay, like, let's give him a day or two and let him think everybody can be in his movie. And then eventually you realize this is too much and insane, and the movie would be like 10 hours long. And so you start to then be more selective and go, okay, wow, we need this character and this character. The main thing is there was a scene at the beginning of the film where there's like Stormtroopers that supposed to be very intimidating scene, and we painted it like the original artwork had classic Stormtroopers, and it just didn't feel scary enough because everyone knows when they fire, they miss. and so we wanted to kind of create like the SAS version of Stormtroopers, or SEAL Team 6. And when we were looking through the original archives at Lucasfilm, we would go back to the original drawings that were done at the very beginning of Star Wars, and the Stormtroopers looked really cool. They were like tall and thin, and there's this one particular image that Ralph McQuarrie drew, and it looks amazing. And I was like, why can't we do that? And they would say, well, as soon as you put armor on people, they become fat and big, like an NFL footballer. And so he said, okay, well, let's cast people who are like 7 feet tall and very thin, and then put very thin armor on. And then by the time you finished, the silhouette feels athletic. And so we did that, and subconsciously tried to create the feeling of like a gas mask for like SAS. And the most fun of the film probably was the design period, where you get to design robots and spaceships, and that was like being a kid all over again. That was pretty amazing. But it took like nine months to design the spaceship, and we had thousands of designs. So, and I think the real test of succeeding in a Star Wars film is not on December 16th, but 15 years from now. If you're walking through the street and some kid or guy or girl has a t-shirt on and it's got a Death Trooper on the t-shirt, then it's like, yes, like, we won, you know. And he did some really great things where so we're in the spaceships. They're real, sort of real spaceships, and they're mounted with a robotic arm, and all the cast are inside the spaceship, and I'd get in with the camera, and all around us is giant screens, LED screens, and they illuminate the actors, and they have pre-recorded flight paths for the spaceship. And so we would get inside, and they would seal the doors so that we could shoot 360 degrees, and then we'd be left for an hour, and all the crew would have to wait on the ground, and we would fly and do the whole scene. And it was like being in a real spaceship. It was like being in the helicopter of like 0 Dark 30, but we had Rebels, and it was a U-wing, and we would shoot the scene, and then suddenly it would end, and the doors would open. It was really hot, and you'd forget that you were in London. This beautiful, like 1960s lens, a Panavision anamorphic 70mm lens that they used in Ben-Hur, and we had this brand new Arri digital camera that was 65mm, so like an IMAX format, but digital, and they connected the two together, and so we had all the resolution you get with like an IMAX film, but it had the organic sort of analog 1970s feel of these beautiful lenses, and I think a lot of the beauty in the movie that people seem to be responding to is down to Greg. This is the problem with doing Star Wars, is that it's very secretive, and you cannot tell anybody, any of your friends or anybody, you can't put on Facebook what you did today. You know, it's no secret that at some point in the movie there is Darth Vader, and so you get to shoot that scene, and you just want to go home and tell everybody. Like, you just want to run down the street and go, shot Darth Vader today, we did Darth Vader. And instead you can't. You meet your friend and they're like telling you their problems about their day at work, and you're like, that's nothing. Like, today we filmed Darth Vader. And I think like one of the things that happened that we were filming this one scene, and we were chatting. I was chatting with Felicity, and as she was talking to me, I just looked to the side, and there was this guy on the set, and it was Mark Hamill, who was Luke Skywalker, and as soon as I saw him, everything she said was just and I was like, I'm really sorry, Felicity, but we have to go and meet Luke Skywalker. Like, I'd never met him, and he's like my hero as a kid. And so as we go over there, as we walk up to him, he's wearing a Godzilla t-shirt, and which is the film I did before. And it was just really weird. And I was nervous, you know, because it's like, oh my God, it's Mark Hamill. And he's very down to earth, very relaxed, and he just puts you at ease straight away. And he was very generous and polite and funny. And I think every single day would have something happen in it that would be the most surreal day of my life if I had a different life. You know what I mean? If I'd gone a different path, it would be everything. It's pretty crazy.
May the Force be with us.